Okay, this is a quick tutorial in response to a question asking me if I could do a tutorial on any good virtual machine software and how to set it up. So first things first, let's go to Google. And I like using the software VirtualBox. It's my preferred virtual machine software. Just type in VirtualBox in Google, click on the first link, and it basically can virtualize any x86 virtualized or x86 hardware, sorry. And it's my preferred virtual machine software. And so you click on downloads and you can download it. Depending on what type of machine you use, x86 or x64, download the particular version that you need and install it. And after you get it installed, you can open it up and run it. I already have two virtual machines installed, but if you didn't, you go to New, go into the virtual machine wizard. It basically guides you through it, and you name your operating system, test, whatever you want to name it. Choose what type of operating system it is, particular version. Let's go to next. Then select how much RAM you want to give it, and you can give it however much you want to. And if you want to create a new virtual hard disk, you can do that. I prefer the dynamically expanding size because it'll expand as you need it. So if you choose like a 10 gig size, it will be 10 gigs by default. It'll be, however much you need it until you go to 10 gigs. Just create it, click finish, and choose it, next. And we're going to click finish. What you need to do to set it up is go to your settings, and you can change the memory size later, enable all kind of boot order, enable ACPI, nested paging, PAA/NX, all that stuff. Choose if you want to mount a CD or DVD drive. Now, install an operating system, the best way is to use an ISO instead of, using like a CD in your CD drive. You can do that, but I like using ISOs better. If you want to mount an ISO, you just go to that, add, just find the ISO and add it and mount it. Now by default it has the guest editions ISO mounted. What that is so the guest editions ISO is basically something that you use when you install like a Windows or a Linux guest that enables you to do full screen mode, enables you to do like mouse pointer integration. That means if you have it not in full screen mode and you move your mouse away from the VM window, it'll go back to the host operating system. And you just go through this and set up your different settings. Audio, if you want to have sound in the guest OS, enable audio and pick something that is not null, because null is nothing. You'll have just mute sound. Networking, just whichever network adapter you get your internet connection through. Serial ports, USB, shared folders between your guest OS and your host OS. Just choose what folder you want to share and give it a name and just pick it. You can also remotely log in, which I've never actually tried this, but supposedly it works pretty well. Let me boot up one of my operating systems, boot up my XP, and show you how things work. Oh, that's right, I haven't modified that in a while. Sorry, I was testing a certain type of network adapter with that. So let's boot up my Linux instead. Sorry about the error with the Windows one. I just haven't used it in so long. As you can see, it's starting up. Bootloader. It's booting. Let's let it boot up. Ubuntu. It's my preferred, well, KDE is my preferred environment, you know, the Ubuntu kernel, same as just with KDE on top of it, like Ubuntu. And as we're waiting on this to boot up, it doesn't boot up that fast because I don't give it that much RAM or video memory or anything like that. And as it boots up, naturally it's taking up my whole screen. Shrink that down a little bit, just for the purposes of this tutorial. And as you can see, as I move my mouse in the window, it becomes the guest OS mouse pointer, and I move it out of the window back to Windows. And let me just shut this down. And it shut itself down. And anyway, this has been another tutorial by Josh. If you like it, subscribe to my channel. Just message me with any suggestions or questions if you got them. And I appreciate you watching.